All right, let's get into it. Today, we're diving into something that feels, way more complicated than it should be, making sense of an electric vehicle quote. If you've ever just stared at a page full of numbers and incentives and just felt completely lost, well, this one's for you. We're going to make it simple.
So let's just kick things off with a story that gets right to the point. This comes straight from our source material, and wow, it is a tough lesson. Just imagine that for a second. You're all excited, driving off in your brand new EV, but you have no idea you've already made a massive, expensive mistake. $4,800. I mean, let that number just sink in. That is not a small mistake. That's a huge chunk of change that's just gone. And the really scary part? It is shockingly easy to do if you walk in without a solid game plan.
Okay, so let's dig into this. We're going to unpack exactly how this happens. Think of this explainer as your map, designed to help you navigate all the tricky parts of EV shopping so you can avoid making that same $4,800 mistake.
And really, it all boils down to this one question, right? In theory, buying an EV should be simpler. There are no oil changes, way fewer moving parts. But what's happened is that all that mechanical complexity we used to worry about, it's been replaced by a whole new world of financial complexity. I mean, just look at this. It perfectly shows the shift. It used to be all about horsepower, engine size, stuff you could kind of wrap your head around. Now, the conversation is about loan APR versus a lease's money factor, which is just a fancy term for the interest rate on a lease. And you've got to deal with this whole web of federal versus state incentives and complex insurance. You're basically learning a new language on the fly. So listen, if you're feeling overwhelmed by all this, I want you to hear this loud and clear. It is not you. The whole system is set up like a confusing maze. It's not a straightforward map. And our goal today is to hand you that map. Okay, enough about the problem. Let's start talking about the solution. The absolute best way to beat this maze is to do a little bit of prep work before you even start looking at cars. It's super simple, but I promise it will save you so much time and money. Look, it really just boils down to knowing 3 simple numbers about yourself. First, what is your real all-in monthly budget? And be honest with yourself. Second, how long are you actually planning to keep this car? And third, what's your driving style like? Knowing these 3 things puts you in complete control. And here is a fantastic little tool from our source. Think of it as your 60-second checkup. You always want to combine these 3 costs into one single number. That number is your anchor. It's what keeps you from getting tricked by super low car payment that's hiding a crazy expensive insurance policy. Okay, prep work is done. Now it's time to assemble your toolkit. We're going to walk through 7 specific websites that, when you use them together, give you a complete, unbiased picture of any deal out there. Now, the real magic here isn't using just one of these sites. It's how they all play together. You'd start with a site like Edmunds to see what people are actually paying. Then you'd take that number over to NerdWallet to see what your financing options look like. Use TrueCar to hunt for any special deals. And then check CarEdge to see the bigger picture. You gotta use them all to get the full story. And please do not skip this next part. Seriously, this is where so many people leave money on the table. Shopping for insurance separately and doing it early. The Zebra gives you a quick, wide-angle view. Policy Genius is amazing if you want to actually talk to a human. And Insurify is your final check. Doing this before you sign anything can save you a fortune. Still not convinced you need to do your own homework? Well, check this out. This is a perfect real-world example of how doing that independent research saves someone $1,800. The dealer's so-called unbeatable offer? Yeah, it was very, very beatable. All right, let's tackle the big one, the question every single buyer faces. Should you finance the car or should you lease it? And with EVs, believe me, the answer is not always what you'd expect. Wow, look at that number, $175. That's the average monthly savings you could see by leasing an EV instead of buying it. And the biggest reason why is because when you lease, the car company gets to claim the big federal tax credit, and then they can pass those savings on to you as a lower monthly payment. It's a huge deal. So here's a super simple way to look at it. You might want to just pause and screenshot this. Basically, you finance if you're in it for the long haul and want to own something at the end. You lease if you love having the latest tech, want lower payments, and aren't worried about mileage limits. So at the end of the day, there's no right or wrong answer here, just what's right for you. It's all about matching the decision to your own lifestyle and how comfortable you are with the technology changing so fast. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. We've talked about the problem, the prep work, the tools, and that big lease versus buy decision. Now let's put it all together into one simple, foolproof plan.
Think of this as your no regrets checklist. Step 1, figure out your absolute max budget. Step 2, find out the real price, not the sticker price. Step 3, check out your financing options on your own. And step 4, and this is crucial, get your insurance quotes before you sign anything. Follow these 4 steps in this exact order, and you'll be protected from every angle. So there you have it. We started out looking at this confusing, expensive maze. But now, with the right prep, the right tools, and a clear 4-step process, you officially have the map. So the only question left is, are you ready to go out there and beat the maze?